Hi, Slav. Sorry, how's your name pronounced?
Emilio, my name is Dima. Dima, it's easy to pronounce.
Oh, okay, Dima. Okay, okay. Hi, nice to
Uh,
meet you.
ha- ha- yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. How should I
Uh,
pronounce your name? Ademilio?
yeah, you can just call me Ade for short.
Ade. Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, Ade, thank you that you joined to my conversation, to my Zoom meeting. Let's I give you the first the subject and the goal of our conversation. Actually,
Okay.
I CEO of fintech startup, which helps buyers to import goods from abroad and to pay Chinese suppliers directly, cheap, and instantly. And so I'm trying to talk with people who relate with the importation and to understand the problems which arise in this area. For that, we can
Okay.
to solve it and to implement it, solving in our product.
Okay.
Okay, great. The first, can you describe how do you relate with the importation? What kind of experience you have which relate with importation side?
Okay. So basically, what I did was about when I was in Jumia. I left Jumia about 3 years. No, I left
Jumia,
Jumia in 2021. Yes.
yeah.
So I was working on the buying side, the commercial side. So we had to
Mm-hmm.
have goods imported over from France, China, and mostly France, China, the UK, and the US.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So most of the time, the blockers, well, the major blockers I would say were pricing. It was a bit too expensive, especially considering the fluctuating dollar rates in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. Second of all was delays. It was almost never arriving at the times you would want it, but apparently that was the fault of the customs in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Delivery problems.
Yeah.
You mean are you talking about the delivery delay in delivery side, right? Or
Yes,
in the
delay on the
payment side?
delivery side. Pickup side is usually 100% accurate, but could delivery side could be as far off as a month
Okay,
after the initial delivery dates.
okay.
Yeah, so that's one major thing. Then also sometimes prices of clearing changes. So delivery agents charge you extra when your goods get to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then let me see what else. Damages hardly ever used to happen. We had one particular company then we're dealing with. It's called Ned Lloyd's, but I can't remember. I don't know what Jumia is dealing with right now. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, we hardly had issues with what's it called? Products getting spoiled or getting destroyed in transit or getting damaged in transit rather. So that was like a very tiny portion of everything that was going on. So basically, it was just those few things: delays, price fluctuations, and yeah, that's that more or less.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Can you say please, Jumia imported towards for their customers, your buyers need to import the goods from the China, or Jumia imported Chinese goods for yourself for your own target.
Okay, so initially Jumia started as the regular e-commerce. We were
Mm-hmm,
buying and actually selling products we bought. So as at that point when I'm talking about, we were buying products. Then later on, it became a marketplace. So that was
yeah.
like up to the vendors to buy and handle the clearing and handle the shipping themselves. So yeah, so the model that was there initially up until 2017, 2018 was us buying products and shipping them down. But we started phasing that out in about 2016. up until like 2018. So like after 2018, it was strictly the marketplace. So at that point in time, it was vendors that were online that were shipping their own products themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand. Can buyers to order in Jumia to import goods from the China to Nigeria for buyers? Can buyers to order this kind of services in Jumia?
Yeah. So at that point, we were, when I say buyers, I don't mean the customers of Jumia. I meant staff, the buying staff, the procurement staff.
Yes.
Yeah. So as at that time, that's what the business model was. We were procuring from those countries and selling at a margin in Nigeria. So we're dealing directly with manufacturers and wholesalers, licensed wholesalers to do with this side of town.
Did Jumia to sell to the retail buyers or to the whole sellers?
Most times it was to retailers, not wholesalers. So
Ah.
we were buying wholesale and doing retail.
That's Jumia to sell imported Chinese goods, for example, Chinese goods to the retail
Yes.
buyers, to the retail
Yes,
buyers.
to the retail buyers in Nigeria. Yes.
Because I thought that Jumia is a marketplace where some sellers can sell their products to the retail buyers. No?
Yes. So Jumia transitioned into that between 2016 and 2018. So we transitioned into a marketplace. But
Yes.
initially, we had an entire buying team. So we used to buy phones, buy accessories, fashion items from
Yeah.
different parts of the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So even from Dubai as well, we still had some strategic partnerships with wholesalers in Dubai. So we're still buying some of these items when they were more expensive to get from the wholesalers in Nigeria at the marketplace value. So to be able to beat competition and like get the best prices, we would have to ship them over. So at this point in time, I know shipping rates at some point was really, really high to the point that we were getting them down cheaper because of the volume of stuff we were buying. So we were able to sell cheaper than licensed distributors in Nigeria. Sorry, licensed retailers in Nigeria, rather.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you responsible for in Jumia in this period of time?
What I was basically responsible for, vendor management. So growing the accounts of those vendors. So I transitioned from a buyer, which is a procurement officer, basically, to a senior buyer. Then when the business model changed to a marketplace, I transitioned into a key account manager stroke vendor manager, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you explain how the payment process to the Chinese suppliers look like? How did you choose suppliers? How did you pay them? This two part of business side.
Okay.
How did
Yeah.
you
So
choose? How did you pay? And what problems arise in this process?
okay, so choosing suppliers, most times it was two different models that we were using then. One of them was basically reaching out through AliExpress or Alibaba, checking for the major distributors in those areas. Then we had a team in China as well. It was a Jumia global team. So if you get connect, so you can actually send them ideas of what you want, like pictures of what you want, give them an idea or give them a link on Alibaba, and they would literally sort out these suppliers for us, send us prices in Nigeria, basically like in USD. So we know how much it is going to be plus what's it called? Plus shipping rates as well. So from that, we'll be able to select what we want. And we were paying through bank transfers initially. And later on, the central team started paying from the office in Dubai. Then when we transitioned to our marketplace, the sellers in China, for example, the Chinese sellers that sell directly to Nigeria, in this case, they started getting paid through Payoneer. Yeah. So that's how the process basically worked.
What was the biggest problem in this process?
It was still the delays, actually. That was
Delay
still
in
like
what?
the major delay in receiving the products in Nigeria. The product would actually leave when it's supposed to leave China, but getting to Nigeria, there was always customs issues, like clearing issues and all that. That was like the major thing that was delaying. That was the major bottleneck.
Okay.
You get.
Yeah, I'd like to back to the choosing of producer. You mentioned that you choose producer suppliers in Alibaba the first, and then to give information your global team, Jumia team in China. Correct?
Yes, correct.
What happened further? What is doing the global team? Does they go to the supplier manufacturing and to checking this product, or what happened further? Because I understand that
What?
the
Sorry, I didn't
first
hear that. You said the global team. What?
yeah, I'm trying to understand how did you choose suppliers, and how did you choose the towards which you would like to buy. You mentioned that you find items in the Alibaba, yeah? And did you try
Yes.
to find a producer in Alibaba where you would like to order? Is it correct?
Yes, so that's what I was saying. There are two models. Sometimes we would find the end to end, the buyer, we'll find the seller and just refer or buy directly and have the Chinese team, sorry, the global team in China ship it down. Sometimes all we'd have to do is send similar items. Like I could just send you pictures of, say, let's use a pair of shoes, for example. And like we had the team go to like the biggest manufacturers for like sneakers and they'll get it down to us. So there were times when we will want to do a private label, like basically like brand it what we want to brand it. So at that point in time, we're mostly negotiating with the guys in China, the team in China, because they can go on foot and actually like have the best deals at the Chinese markets, then send us the quotes and send us samples in some cases. In some cases, I mean, we're like they were part of our team, so we could always like take their word for it when they say, okay, this is actually like a good grade of products. You get, yeah. So that was how that used to work back then.
Are there any problems in this process? Was there any problems which you faced too? Maybe it's hard to understand the good qualified producer, maybe something else.
Oh yeah. So sometimes they come out looking different. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like what you ordered versus what you bought.
I,
Yeah. So yeah, but that problem mostly started arising when we left when we started doing marketplace purely. So marketplace is, yeah. So at that point in time, you don't know. I mean, we in Nigeria don't know who the sellers are. Our customers buy the products, and they're complaining about them, as in like the quality is bad. You're seeing reviews and stuff like that. So at that point in time, I think that was the only major thing. But when we were buying directly, it was always the delays in buying. Sorry, the delays in receiving the items due to customs issues and price changes when the items also get to Nigeria. So let me give you a typical example. There was a time I ordered about, we had a Ralph Lauren wholesaler in the US. We ordered about 300 shirts and they didn't get to Nigeria. They were supposed to, it was FOB, like, give for example, February. And we actually got the tracking that it was in Nigeria by February, but we did not receive this product till like the end of March.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, because it was basically they were telling us, oh, like there's some things, I think cotton or some basically finished products were supposed to be contraband. So we had to go through a certain channel to get it into Nigeria. So it took long delays and we had to pay extra. So at that point in time, it affected our retail prices because obviously, like, we incurred more costs and we had to increase retail prices as well, automatically also affecting what's it called, our timelines for the return in.
Hi, 8 hours. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. No problem.
I didn't
Continue,
realize
please.
I was using my phone and I didn't realize my battery was almost gone.
It's great. No
Yeah.
problem. Now I came to hear you good.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. I
Okay,
hear you.
yeah.
Can you continue? Continue,
Okay,
please.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So sorry, where did I stop? The delays, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, those things used to like ultimately affect our own bottom line at the end of the day. And I think like that was like the major thing. Apart from that, it was it was really nothing. Price delays, they were always the main thing. As I said, if you have like you would hardly ever have problems with um you'd hardly have problems with damages. I could count the amount of times that we had like products that were damaged or products that had like issues like due to shipping. It was probably just maybe in my maybe collecting like 100 shipments, maybe like five.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
get,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So so that was actually, yeah. Okay, in one situation actually we had some lost items. That was
Mm-hmm,
when I was managing shoes, the shoe category before I became a manager of the whole entire department. But yes, at that point we had some missing consignments with shoes, and I mean
mm-hmm,
insurance covered it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was also from the shipping side, not from our own side.
Okay. Did you mention
Yeah.
about delay? This delay is happened in shipping sites, or producer is produced during a long time the goods which you need. On what sides did you have delay?
It was hardly ever on the producer. It was just on the receiving side in Nigeria.
Okay.
Producers, most times, I mean, pardon, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I
Yes.
was saying
Yes.
that
Yes. Yes.
producers most times were like never off. Also for the picking up parts, that was usually as long as the schedule, the timing right, everything was always done. Like picking up, we're using Netflix, picking up was always on point. So it was
Mm-hmm.
always that delivery part. Yeah, that was the issue. Sorry, always the part that when it gets to Nigeria to clear it and to have it delivered.
Mm-hmm.
That was the main issue. Then another thing is in Nigeria, like there's the last quarter of the year, it's like almost all the time you have issues at the customs, at the borders, basically. So clearing takes a lot of time. So on a normal day, what you would get out of customs in 1 or 2 days, it could be taking 2, 3 weeks.
Okay, I understand. Can you say,
Yeah.
please, how did you pay? Can you please more detail? How did you play Chinese producer? For example, if you decided what type of goods you should to order, then how did you pay for the suppliers? And what problems arise in
Back.
this space as well?
Oh, okay. Sourcing for the USD, um, fluctuating prices, getting the Chinese RMB was also a problem because a lot of times you finish your negotiations at a certain amount and price goes up within the next 2 days. So
Why?
that changes for us in
Why?
Nigeria, but it
Why
doesn't
was
change
this type?
for, pardon?
Why
Oh,
was
it's
this
always
fluctuation
fluctuating
of the price?
currency.
Okay.
It's
Exchange.
Nigeria. It's how it happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the exchange rate. It's been
Inside
erratic
problem.
for the past. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Most of the problems we have with shipping are the inside problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's been it mostly. Yeah, it's really about our own side of things. So if you have good relationship with customs in Nigeria, if you have people who are quote unquote lobbyists who will get these things out for you on time, I mean like business coming out from your side and shipping here will be very smooth. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, yeah. Hello? Yeah. Can
Okay,
you hear me now?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
And
I can hear you.
yes, how did you solve this problem? How did you pay eventually to the Chinese suppliers mostly? What's the common method did you use for paying Chinese suppliers?
Did we use what? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
What payment method did you use for paying suppliers mostly?
Oh, okay. Mostly it was transfers, bank transfers.
From Nigeria bank to Chinese bank.
Yes.
How did you do it? Because in Nigeria, restriction of payments up to $10,000 per month for the business, if I correctly understand.
So basically, I was our finance department. I don't know how they were doing those payments at that point,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, we were having those payments made. The ease of transfer started coming when we were doing the global payments, like paying from our global accounts. But like in Nigeria, we had different bankers, we had corporate accounts as well. So this helped us with moving funds. So at least I know that a bunch of times when we had to make payments, all I just had to do was submit to finance and like they send me a telex showing that the payment has been made and I just send it to my suppliers. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Did
don't
you?
know the nitty-gritty on the payments part of things.
Mm-hmm. Did you use non-Nigerian bank for making cross-border payments to the Chinese suppliers? Did you use non-Nigerian bank?
Um, Throughout the times I had to deal with it, no, we didn't. Later on, as I mentioned, we were using the central account, which was either from, I'm not sure if it was from the Paris. I think it was from Paris, actually. I don't know if you know Jumia very well, but Jumia had an office in Paris at some point before we moved to Dubai. So at that point in time, I know payments are coming from Paris. At some point, payments were, I think, coming from Dubai as well. There was a central team that was making payments after we stopped buying from Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. As well, did you mention
So,
about you used Pioneer? Pioneer. What
yeah,
reason
so
did you
the
use?
the Payoneer, yeah, so Payoneer started when the marketplace kicked off and vendors had to be paid in China. So at that point in time, it was way more vendors than, the buying part of things. When we were buying, we were dealing with a limited amount of vendors. But obviously, like when it became marketplace, I mean, that's open to like tons of people. So Payoneer was the mode of payment at that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you
Yeah.
have any problems with the refund? Did you need to make any refund in any cases? Did you remember about it? Because many
Uh,
buyers would like to have refund policy. For example, if some suppliers or producer will deliver not exactly goods items, they will return back their money. Refund policy. Did you need refund policy, or maybe did you use it? Did you have cases where did you need refund policy?
yes, we did. So in those cases, the best of my knowledge, I know there was a time when we would debit the vendors and ask them to have it picked up from our warehouses in Nigeria to have the items. But that was on a low, that was when we had the marketplace, not when it was direct shipping. Direct shipping, we would have our guys make sure everything that was coming was, good. So when we had the marketplace, if we had any issues, customer complaints, the customers could return the items and they would be refunded, as the customers would be refunded directly. But the vendors would have the money taken from them in their next cycle, and the products, the effective products will be sent to quarantine. So the vendors were responsible for getting their products shipped back to China. So, I mean, this is what used to happen. In most of the cases, those items would stay in Nigeria because it used to cost a lot of money, apparently, to have them shipped back to China.
Yeah.
So most of them would ask, most of them would just ask it to be forfeited, as in with the Jumia team. So basically, they will be sold off as quarantine items to people who are willing to buy them defective. That'll
Mm-hmm.
be
Mm-hmm.
offline, obviously, not online.
Okay, okay, I understand. You mentioned that buyers ordered importation when Jumia became marketplace. Yeah, if I could understand, when Jumia became a marketplace, some buyers order in Jumia to import some goods from the China. For that, they can to sell these goods on Jumia marketplace. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay, can you describe what the type of buyers does need importation and what the type of buyers to come to the Jumia and order importation goods from the China?
Wait, sorry, explain that again. I don't think I got that right.
Yes. Jumia has sellers, right? The sellers
Yeah.
comes as the Jumia with the requirements to import goods for them, right?
Yes. So, okay, maybe I didn't explain this right. So Jumia, okay, so basically, let's put it this way. Jumia is the portal where people buy from. Then we had customers in Nigeria who were buying from Jumia,
Yeah.
and we had a team in Jumia who was sourcing these products.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's the guys sourcing get the products get listed on Jumia. You get then this is marketplace, right? So the products get shipped down every time the orders come in. I can't remember how they were batched, but they were batched in certain ways. So it won't be just one item coming to Nigeria at a time. It'll be like a bulk of orders. So like regular orders from Jumia that were available in the warehouse in Nigeria will get delivered to you within say 3 to 5 days, depending. If it's something that is called Jumia Express, it could get delivered as early as 1 to 2 days. But items getting shipped from China would take 2 weeks to deliver or 3 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was the usual. Then you'd have to pay in advance as well, versus in Nigeria where you could pay on delivery for items below a certain amount of money. But basically, any item shipped from abroad has to be paid for in full, not paid on delivery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
you mentioned before that Jumia had a global team in China. My question: why
Yeah.
Jumia? Why does Jumia need to have some team in China? What function does this team have?
They were basically the revenues coming in from the Chinese side of the business, as in like from the Chinese suppliers were huge. I mean, we all know how much of a market player China is. So we needed a team to monitor everything like one on one, and also be able to go to the markets in China to have like physical negotiations, touch the products as well, to be able to tell what kind of quality they were.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, those tests and things needed like some physical presence. It was just a team of 5 or 4 people. One of the head of the team was shuttling Dubai and China, and the other guys were permanently in China. They were
Mm-hmm,
actually
mm-hmm.
Chinese. Yeah, the head of the team was French.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you
Yeah.
know how many people is located in the China? I mean,
Right
from
now I can't tell, but from
yeah,
that
that
time
time,
right time there were about 3 or 4 only.
3 or 4 people, member of the team is located in the China.
Yes, it was just about 3, 4 people who used to do all the buying.
Their main responsibilities
Oh,
to pick up the towards, to inspect these towards, and to provide qualified checking producer, check
negotiate as well,
negotiate.
negotiate like better deals. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay, as well, does they know Chinese language? I suppose
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So it was only one member of the team that wasn't Chinese.
one member of teams know the
Yeah,
Chinese, because many
yeah,
buyers say it about that there are a lot a high level of language barrier, because Chinese don't know English very well. They know just
exactly.
elementary level of English.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's hard to understand deeply what exactly do you want from them, what exactly teams do you want, and therefore they headline that it's too hard to communicate with them due to this problem,
The
communicate
language barrier. Yeah,
better, language better. Yeah, therefore
yeah,
one of your team has good skill of language in Chinese language, I suppose.
yeah. Those guys were
Mhm,
full Chinese,
mhm,
so they knew
mhm.
they knew how to speak.
Okay,
Yeah.
eventually, what's the final business model Jumia running when you work last time? Yeah, what's the
What
last
model?
business model? Yeah,
Yeah,
what
it was
was
the
what?
marketplace. It was the marketplace paying vendors through Payoneer. And so what most of these guys were doing was shipping the products and storing them in the warehouse in Nigeria or in warehouses in Nigeria. That made more sense than shipping them when the orders came in. So they would have the best sellers stationed in warehouses in Nigeria and have the non-best sellers shipped every time an order came in.
Mhm. Was there any progress with the sourcing dollar? Because I know that before you send payment through Pioneer, the first you should to top up with dollar, right? And it's
Yeah,
are there any progress with the sourcing dollar for topping up on Pioneer?
I don't know. That was like the finance parts. I don't know if they ever had problems, but what I do know is that, I mean, getting dollars in Nigeria is, if you have
It's
more money to pay, black market rates, it won't be so hard. But if you're looking for the official rates, it's hell.
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. Do you know why Jumia did to choose exactly Pioneer? What's the advantages of the Pioneer for sending Chinese suppliers? Why did they choose exactly this type of payment method?
No idea. But I'm guessing it must have been like the most
Your
effective and
thoughts,
cheapest way
your
to
thoughts,
pay.
maybe your thoughts about why
Yeah.
did they choose it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It must have been like for my thoughts, I would say it was for pricing, like price for transfers. It must have been like cheaper to move money that way rather than having to send through the banks and having to go through bank charges. Oh yeah, bank charges here to send dollars abroad is pretty expensive as well.
Bank charge. I do know about something about charges of this bank when you send money directly to Chinese suppliers. What was the fee? Do you know?
Uh no idea. No,
Okay.
yeah. So most of
Uh,
those core finance things, I never really got myself involved in them.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
for answering. I asked all questions which I had. Actually, as I mentioned before, we are trying to understand the main problems which this market has to solve it. Because we launched our product, our fintech product, where we can to issue a USD card, which you can to use for paying any foreign sites. Facebook, Google, Netflix, Amazon, Alibaba, etc. And as well, we noticed that importers, buyers would like to use our solution for paying Chinese suppliers, and we're trying to understand what exactly problems are there, and you help to understand more clearly. And if
Mm.
it's possible, I will back after some times to you and to talk what exactly we have launched, and as well I will
Yeah.
give you I will give you our virtual USD card which you can to use for paying globally. As well, you can to get any payments from anywhere, everybody. For example, you can to get payment from the United States, United Kingdom in dollars, pound, euro,
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah, and withdrawal this sum on your local bank account in Naira. For example, you will got $100 and withdrawal to your bank account in Naira. Yeah. You can to check it,
Okay.
maybe you will like it. And if you will
Yeah.
have any feedback on our services, I will be pleasure to see, to read it, to discuss it, and etc. And
Okay.
I will
Okay.
provide you a bank account card for free as well. I will top up $10 this card for testing kit.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
And how do you fund your cards, if any ask?
Yeah, it's a good question. So you can to fund by Naira. Your Naira will be converted automatically in dollar. You can to use your local card with Naira.
Currencies.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And Naira
Okay.
will be converted in dollar without any commission.
Without any commissions?
Without.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I'm offering you to check our services. You will like it, I suppose.
Yeah, let me check them out. And have you launched in Nigeria?
Yeah. We have launched about 3 months ago, just 3 months ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see how it works. I can actually, I still have relationships with some of those guys that I dealt with in Jumia. If it works fine, I can actually introduce you guys to a few.
Okay, I am offering you the
Yeah.
first testing our product. Then we can to make the next meeting and discuss our potential cooperation.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right then, no problem.
Thank you. I will provide you now link in LinkedIn.
Okay then. Thank you very much. And it
Thank
was good
you.
speaking with you.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
No problem at all. Bye bye.